So I'm getting a lot of messages from people wanting to get back into sprinting. They know how important it is for longevity. So I'm gonna go through a session today. What you can do, start sprinting again. So let's start with the feet. So you know that I normally like to build strength in the feet, but when you're getting into your sprinting, you may as well use the great tools we have available in the way of shoes. These ones have a high heel and have gel, so they're very soft in the heel as well. The biggest injury that people get when they start going back into sprinting is Achilles, calf, and some sort of plantar fasciitis. Get as low as you can, still reach the heels to the ground. And come in a little bit closer, elephant walks. So with these, just start as high as you need, but the goal is to get those knees straight each time you straighten the legs. As you get better at it, just go down lower on the steps, eventually to the ground. That's a good stretch for the calves and the hamstrings. Now we're getting into the hip flexors. Again, start as high as you need. As they get easier, you can drop these down lower till you're down towards the ground, but the focus is the stretch. Hip flexor. This is now our short range, so we're looking at really trying to get blood flow and rewire the area. Now we're trying to get the glutes and the hip flexors to get some timing going. Glutes, hip flexors, glutes, hip flexors. Bit of rotation. So we do want the spine to be able to move when we do our sprinting. So we're doing some flexion and extension here to start off with. And this one, you just try and touch the toe at the front and then get your heel or toe at the back. Just a little bit of rotation here. This drill is fantastic for starting to link each side of the body together. Even though the hips need to work fairly independently in sprinting, you want them to be working together, but in opposite positions. These work a little bit more of the whole body, trying to again link now the upper back to the hips, hamstrings, everything working. Same with these ones, just through the front. Just trying to get everything to work together now, even though we've got a little bit of rotation in the body to sort of get in sync with each other. Just a little bit of arms at the end. I love to do a little bit of just arm sprinting before I do any sprinting. All right, let's go. First thing is our warm-ups. So I do some out and backs, just focusing on the change of direction. Change of direction, different sides each time you turn around. Just really getting some basic warm-ups here. Okay, so before we get into our sprints, I'm just gonna test the structure. The first one is 10 seconds of Russian bounces in the bottom. Then I'm going to go to 10 seconds of Romanian jumps at the top. Just checking all the structure is intact here before you do your explosive sprinting. All right, next, I like to do a couple of backward sprints. It really works the ankles and the Achilles, gets it nice and warm. Again, just a really good exercise for the joints, gets the structure nice and warm, the feet, the ankles, the knees. This is great for those areas, those joints to be ready to go and ready to sprint. And lastly, before I start, just a couple of hops to work on my ankle stability. Just stability and the structure again here, checking if you hit a little pothole or anything like that, you're going to be ready for it. Okay, and now it's time for our sprints. I'm going to focus on four main things. for our first 3 steps. First thing is our starting shin angle. We want to get that facing the direction that we want to go. The next one is having a stiff ankle when we land. We don't want that to be all mushy. The next one is pulling that leg through nice and quickly with your hip flexors. And last one is not to collapse our chest too much. So one other thing for sprinting is that you need to be able to have enough rest. You need to be able to put in max effort. So I like a 1-to-4 ratio. Whatever it takes you to do that sprint, I want you to rest at least 4 times that. So if I'm going to do a 15-second sprint here, I want me to rest for a full minute before I start over again. Pause the video now if you want to see more of these, like and subscribe. So how many of these should we do? Stay within your limits. It's a super violent movement that you're doing to your body. You might not feel the effects of the soreness until days after. So again, just stay within your limit. I like to not ever go over 400 meters total when I'm doing my sprinting. So if you're doing a 400, it's 1. If you're doing 10 meters, you can do up to 40. But the main thing is that they need to be effort. As soon as the effort starts to drop and you can't hit the same sort of pace, it's up. That's as many as you need to do. Don't keep going into slower reps, because slower reps make you slower, faster reps make you faster. And then if you get to do a recovery swim in the ocean, it's even better. Let's go.